Okay, so we've got approximately 1,440 minutes in any given day, right? Approximately 480 of them are on sleep. This is if you're getting 8 hours. Approximately 480 if you're working. This is if you're working 8 hours. 120 of them maybe are in the morning where you're rushing around, getting everything ready for yourself and maybe everybody else. And then let's say another 180 minutes at the end of the day to rush around, get dinner and get everybody settled and do whatever your nighttime routines are. Let's just say that there's 20 minutes, if that, for any kind of sexy time or romantic time. That leaves you with around 160 minutes for you at the end of the day. So how do you spend these minutes? And how can you reduce the amount of noise and needs from other people on social media, on news, and all of that so that you can feel more calm, centered, and grounded? Hi, I'm Krisha Young, and I'm here to help women over 40 reclaim your power, awaken your inner goddess, and speak your truth. So here's what it is. We've got these 160 minutes, and what do we do with them? We fill ourselves with noise, right? So we've got a few minutes, we're just chilling, we're just doing whatever. So what's the first thing we do? We go on here, we pick up our phone, we go into Instagram, we go into Facebook, and what ends up happening is we start to activate the subconscious or unconscious thought loops in our heads that gets us to start feeling really crappy about ourselves. We compare ourselves to other people. How come that person's got it together and I don't? And look how perfect she is. And oh my God, look at me. Or, you know, we might be seeing some news stories or people's shares or opinions showing up on Facebook that is making us feel like scared or smaller or really angry that we don't agree with their opinion. And so what ends up happening is after like maybe 20 minutes or 10 minutes or a half an hour or an hour or 160 minutes of this, how does that make you feel? Like you feel awful at the end of that. And you might not even actually be entirely sure why you feel like crap. Or maybe we're feeling just so like tense and so angry over the fact that, you know, we're busy and we're overwhelmed and we don't have that much time for ourselves. And maybe we had a bad day and stuff is just not feeling good for us. So what do? We pick a fight. Women are very good at picking fights when we are feeling unheard and, you know, when we're feeling really overwhelmed and when we don't have enough time for ourselves. So what do? We create noise coming out of our mouths and we're picking a fight, whether it's, you know, picking a fight with our kids to do something, clean up the room or something like that. Or we pick a fight with our significant other, or maybe if we've just been on social, maybe we're picking a fight with somebody on social media. Either way, we're letting our aggression and our anger out and our sadness really out in an unhealthy way. More noise. Or maybe we just pour a drink or take a couple of puffs and we drift off into that blissful space of where we numb the noise, right? And that's no good either, because what does that do? That ends up, you know, making us feel like crap. The next day, we don't feel good if we've had too much to drink, or, you know, we eat all the things in the cupboard if we've had, you know, some puffs or whatever. Either way, this is numbing the noise, and that in itself is also not good. What do all these things do? They just make the noise worse. It makes it all worse. And I know you know this already, right? The same thing day after day, right? It's this groundhog day of never seeming like you have enough time for yourself, never seeming like you have the ability to be able to just have a few minutes on your own, and you just want to scream, right? You are so tired of having people interrupt you and you know, not be able to just fully relax and fully be by yourself for just a few minutes and shut down all of the noise, all of the opinions, all of the everything for everybody else. So what do you do about this? Okay, so the first thing you need to do, woman, is claim this for yourself, okay? You have 160 minutes, let's just say, thereabouts. You need to treat these minutes like you would a 10-carat diamond ring set in platinum, right? Or those precious red sole shoes or whatever. Our energy is very, very precious. We have a finite amount of it to be able to give and constantly give that out to other people. So you want to make sure that you are protecting your personal energy as best as you possibly can. And that, my lovely, lovely woman, is on you. Okay. So here's what you do. Okay. First of all, you're going to stake a claim right now that this is for yourself right now. So you're going to repeat after me. You're going to say, my time and my energy is precious. Go ahead and say that now. My time and my energy is precious. I am precious. I am precious. From this moment forward, I will dedicate these 160 minutes towards things that nourish me. How does all that feel in you? And you know what? You might have some things that are coming up saying, no, that's okay. Let them be there. Just give yourself permission to give yourself this gift. The second thing that I want you to go ahead and do is look at your day and see when it makes the most sense for you to be able to find these 120 minutes. You can chop them up throughout the day. You can do it all in one chunk. Here's the thing. Who cares what anybody else is doing? Really, who cares? If you're better in the morning, have this time in the morning. If you're better in the middle of the day, have this time in the middle of the day. If you're better before bed, then have this time before bed. Okay. And if it varies from day to day, then that's okay too. You need to drop the pressure of having miracle mornings or, 2 hours of meditation before bed and all of this stuff. We have to fit it in when we can and take the pressure off making it perfect. All I want you to do is just look at your schedule and be like, okay, starting right now, when can I fit in all of these minutes all at once? Or do I break these down? Maybe I do 20 here and 30 here. Okay. So take a look at your calendar and make sure that you're doing it. When you are in those moments of silence, when you have those containers booked into your calendar, first of all, I don't want anything to get in the way of it. I know what you do. You end up like putting other people or other meetings or other priorities in those spaces. You cannot do that anymore. Remember your declaration. Your time and your energy is precious. Okay, so treat it as if this is a meeting with the queen or something like that. Like you are the queen that you are meeting with. So treat it as such. Turn your phone off or don't even have it with you unless you're doing a meditation and you have the meditation app on your phone. Do not pour a drink or take a puff or anything like that. Like keep yourself sober for these practices and try not to talk to anybody, observe some silence in this particular practice so that you can feel, regenerate your energy in that kind of way as well. And then lastly, decide on what rituals you're going to do in this time instead, right? So there's so many things that we can do. We can walk, we can meditate, we can have a bath, we can do self-pleasure, we can read, we can knit, we can journal, we can dance. What brings you pleasure? And if you don't know, what I tell my clients is just play roulette, try different things and see what lands, see what feels good for you, right? Now, the most important thing about this is that this is your time, only you, no kids, no spouse, no partners, you can have a friend as long as you two are both going to be doing the exercise at the same time. So no gabby, no gossiping, nothing like that, right? Like if you're going to meditate together. If you're going to journal together. Okay. And what will happen is you're going to start to crave this time alone. You are going to do whatever it takes to protect it. You're going to build your life around this time. It will happen, I promise. And what will happen from that is you will now be able to speak up. You'll be able to say no. You'll be able to put in some firm boundaries in your life without, apology, without feeling bad about it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, that's great, Krisha. Yeah, but like life is life, and there's interruptions, and there's things that can happen to knock you out. Listen, I get it. I'm a mom of 2 boys. I run my own business. I know what it feels like to have that time crunch and that time pressure. And I also know what it feels like to completely numb out and not put myself first in this kind of way. I know how draining it can be. I know how exhausting it can be. And I know how it just makes situations way, way, way worse when I'm not prioritizing myself. It makes me feel bad about myself. And, it hampers progress in other areas of your life if you're not putting yourself first in these particular areas. Know for sure is that this is when the rubber hits the road, right? So what means more to you? The feeling of overwhelm, the feeling of stress, the feeling of all that noise coming at you, or the feeling of peace and serenity and groundedness and happiness, and the power that comes from putting yourself first. What feels better for you right now? Now, I've got your back, woman. I have created a 5-day free series called Calm in the Chaos that is designed to help you with exactly this. What is included in this free series are rituals that you can implement on a day-to-day basis in order to get you into a track of doing this on a consistent basis. It includes journaling prompts. It includes meditation. It also includes, as like a major bonus, support from me in a Facebook community where you can ask me any kind of questions, or if you're feeling stuck or anything like that, you just tag me, ask me a question, and I'm there to help you be accountable and to get you through any sticky patches if you're finding that you're, being interrupted too much or you haven't been able to stick to this or whatever. But really, this is about you taking a stand for your life and your inner peace and your power, and for you to be a goddess and to speak your truth to people and say, you know what, these minutes are for me and for me only. And, nothing is going to interrupt this. And you'll see that as you continue to do these practices, what will happen is you will start to become more aligned, more centered, more grounded, more peaceful. You'll start to understand more now why you sabotage yourself, and you'll get the answers to all the questions that you're seeking. Like, why does this happen? Why is that not happening? What can I do about this? What do I do about that? All of that stress and all of that pressure that you've got right now will start to calm down the more you prioritize these precious, precious minutes in your day just for you. And at the end of it, you can go back to your Facebook scrolling. You can go back to having a drink. You can then have a conversation rather than an argument with whoever it is that you want to have a conversation with, right? It changes everything in your life when you start to prioritize yourself and devote and dedicate yourself to these rituals on a daily basis, because then it provides you with a really big, solid foundation for you going forward, and it trickles out to all other areas of your life. So thank you so much. Make sure that you download this. It's totally free, and I will see you later.